Thank you so much for sharing your book with our viewers. And, you know, I just love the whimsical, brightly colored illustrations that you include in all of your books, because Baby Bobby is just one of your many colorful and fun books that you've written. So I know you have another book that's called A Boat Full of Animals. Can you tell us a little bit about it and why it's different?
This is a special book. It is a book, it's a character building. It's a book of character building games, and they're animal games. So every animal in the book, and there are 30, represents a certain trait, a certain quality, a positive character trait that one would want to have in a child. So a child, by experiencing what is in the book, by the game, they internalize that and they keep that quality because they've experienced it. It's their own then from then on. So the bird, for instance, game is about making sweet sounds, because children make all kinds of sounds, but the bird makes sweet sounds, and it's helping children be aware of the sounds they make, because those sounds go out and touch everyone. And the cat, of course, the predominant feature of the cat is the cat cleans up after herself. So the child is asked, can you clean up after yourself today? You know, here are 3 situations. Can you find many ways during the day that you can clean up after yourself, take care of yourself? So each one of these, for instance, the dolphin, find the dolphin here, but the dolphin is about smiling first. So we're not sure where the dolphin is smiling because people smile at him, but he always has that continuous smile, and therefore people respond to him in such a positive way. So it's teaching children the importance of a smile, and smiling first, is particularly when you see another child that is not smiling. So these are just little lessons, and they're really wonderful. It came from a book I had done called The Happy Book many years ago for 10-Speed Press, and The Happy Book, which I've now renamed A Million Reasons to Be Happy. That book is now an e-book, but that book, when it came out, many people came up and said, could you not do a children's version of this book? Something where there were exercises for children, because they were using that book for older children already. Okay. And so I did this book for younger children.
I love that that there's 30 of them, so it's basically a month-long learning experience for kids, and they can relate, because I think, you know, what kid doesn't love animals? And so then they're relating to the traits of the animals and learning themselves, oh, well, if the animal does that for that reason, then maybe I should. I love that. That is so unique, and as a homeschooler, I love that that's an easy way to incorporate, you know, learning manners or positive traits or whatever it is into your school.
Yes, yes. There are a lot of things that are helpful for developing self-worth, developing other worth. In other words, the octopus has 8 arms, but that means it has 8 hands. And so those hands, what can we use those hands for? How about clapping for someone else? Clapping and appreciating others. So that whole little exercise is about appreciating others.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're wonderful. It's a wonderful book.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's talk about, and we will definitely let people know in the interview notes below how they can find those books and order them for themselves. But I want to know, when did you start writing for children, and why do you love writing for children?
I started writing about, 40 years ago, I would say. And I simply stored books. At one point, I would write a book a day, and then I would illustrate it and bind it myself in these little esoteric pieces that I would stuff away. And I put them away in a drawer and never really brought them out, because I was always doing other things and working in other forms. But they were always my true love, was to do these little books. And then when I married my husband, who was head of advertising promotion for Hallmark cards, we got into doing my art in different ways. And through those times, I continued to write these stories and stuff them in a drawer and stuff them in a drawer, and thought one day, and of course I did publish a few books through regular publishers, but when eBooks became accessible. It's a way for authors and illustrators to really get their work out. It became possible for me to now really focus on these and do them and really put my heart into it. So that's what I'm doing, is now illustrating those books and also creating more books all the time.
I love it. I love that you told the story about how you wrote them and shoved them in a drawer, because I think so many authors do that. And I think that they should, especially with the invention of ebooks now, I think they should try to get them out there, because somebody wants to read them.
Yes, it's true. I have the advantage, because I'm an artist as well, as being able to illustrate my own work, and so they always the stories have always come to me in film form anyway in my mind, so it's easy for me to put them down in this way. So
that is cool. That is definitely an advantage, that you can illustrate your own work.
Yes.
So why is it important to you? I noticed that a lot of your books, and you have a series now out that includes some kind of a lesson, some kind of a learning in every book. Why is that important to you?
I don't know that I do it consciously, maybe now, but I find that it'll be some realization that I come across, and then I put it into a book form, and it's not. It's like a thought that kids should know about this, or parents should know about this for their children. How would I do that? How could I explain that idea? And then I will put it down, because I'm doing a series now, which again is dear to my heart, and it's called Mr. Consequences, and it's wonderful. Mark Kloss, the father, Polly Kloss, really gave it high kudos. The text on this book, but I'm in the process of illustrating, and there's a series of little books within that series of Mr. Consequences, and all about a mouse who comes in to help children when they seem to be in trouble, because there are a lot of children that are not guided at this time and need help and need to rely on themselves. So these are techniques, and I think if a child experiences those themselves, then they are better prepared, rather than just being told, don't get into a car with a stranger. Well, but if you put them into a little story about that, and not too scary at all, but something that they become aware. So that's a wonderful series that I'm preparing.
That is fantastic, because you're right. I think, in this day and age, there are so many kids that don't have the guidance that, even you or I had, growing up. And to be able to relate to a character in a book and recall a story like that they were able to relate to, if they're ever in a situation like that, is priceless.
Yes, I do. I've done some books for children with diabetes, so that has been an interesting process as well, through a friend. And I will do a series with those books that I've written, so that they're on chronic diseases for children. So.
That's fantastic. I love it. So now you have a whole website full of fun things for children and parents to do. What are some of the things that people will find on your website? Besides your books, obviously.
Yes, my books, of course. But there's a lot of information for parents that I think is really helpful. I was a tennis player, a tennis champion in my youth, and so I have a wonderful tennis book, but I write on ideas about tennis, and I just did a whole page on that, on sportsmanship, for kids and sportsmanship. It's always kind of a different way of looking at things, not traditional, not the usual words that you would hear. And that's true of the tennis book. It's a great book, 8 Golden Rules for How to Play Your Best Tennis. And it's really about attitude and playing at the highest vibration that you can play. So those are very special to me. So then there's a wonderful thing on there about the secret to happiness, how you find happiness, how important happiness is to one in one's life. So that's a good thing in there. And then there's a great thing about, for mothers, expectant mothers. There's a wonderful a little thing about a letter to a parent, about thinking about if you're a very young child, we're writing a letter to you, what would that child say? What would you be making the parent more aware of his or her responsibility to the child and the importance of that relationship?
Wow. So you just have tons of stuff, and I know you also have some videos of you painting, which is I think, neat because your background is art, and
Yes.
and to be able to see a glimpse into how this author illustrates or paints, that's a neat thing for kids to see as well.
Yes. Yeah, I'm putting more of those up too.
All right.
Good.
Now, are there any new projects or books coming up that you'd like to let our viewers know about?
I think that the next group of books will be on the Mr. Consequence series, because I feel that that's something. It seems that people who are searching my site are people who are interested in not just entertainment for their children, but something with a worth, something that has some value to it. And I think that that series will be very helpful because it deals with very difficult topics in a simple way. And it was very special and inspired. So that is the series that I'll work on next.
Okay.
And I'll keep adding to Baby Bobby's adventures as well.
Okay. And you also, a little birdie told me you also have a just St. Patrick's Day book that you just finished that's ready just in time for St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, it's called The Little Leprechaun Who Loved Yellow.
Awesome.
It's about the importance of following your heart.
Okay. And that's available on Amazon as well?
It is.
Okay.
Just up.
All right.
Good.
Thank you so much, Sally, for taking the time to share your books and your stories with us today, and for reading Baby Bobby to our kids who visit us.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.